whatever works, because it's no stretch to say it's been a disappointing season for the Jags, as losses mount and playoff hopes fade. So what keeps players like 12-year veteran center Brad Meester going? Perhaps it's a 6-year-old little boy who inspires with his daily struggle. Luke Ackerstrom already had 3 years of soccer under his belt before he was diagnosed with a rare form of encephalitis, which means he lost important cells that control motor function. Together, it seems that Brad and Luke have created miracles. Rick Riley tells their story.
At 5 years old, Luke Ackerstrom had already played violin for the Jacksonville Youth Symphony. And then, just like that, the music stopped.
We were just in the car, a typical just drive in the morning. I looked in the back seat and Luke was gone. There was nothing in his eyes. I was begging. I was on the ground, on my knees, crying, begging, please don't let my child die.
A seizure left Luke frozen. It lasted more than 30 minutes. How long did those 30 minutes feel like?
Hours. Almost like, it felt like an eternity.
He had a rare brain infection. Luke couldn't walk and couldn't talk. So what did the doctors say when you got to the hospital?
We're going to do a CAT scan and check him out. This was a Friday, so they said by Monday you'll be at home.
And did you get to go home Monday?
No, we were there for 140 days.
Which is where Luke was when Jacksonville Jaguars center Brad Meester walked into his life.
When you saw him, I mean, he lit up a room. He was so funny and just so upbeat about everything, and it just made us want to keep going back.
How did he say goodbye to you that first day?
I believe it was peace out, sucka.
Meester, a father of 4 daughters, visited every Tuesday and his wife every Thursday like clockwork for hours at a time.
Brad was out of town for almost a month, and Luke was asking, where's Mr. Brad Meester? And Brad drove all night long to come back to Jacksonville and still made the 9 o'clock therapy appointment. Unbelievable.
Brad would come by and he would hold him, and that's when he would kind of relax a little bit.
Even though Luke still couldn't walk, Meester invited the family to a Jags training camp practice, which gave Luke a crazy idea.
Luke was telling us, I have to walk to Brad Meester. I'm going to walk to Brad Meester. And we said, yes, you know, one day you will walk to him. And he said, no, at that practice, I'm going to walk to Brad Meester on the field. Jaguars do not roll, they run.
He came in a wheelchair. We figured, okay, I can carry him out there.
You never know where you're gonna meet that kid that's gonna change your life.
And then it was like time froze again.
I was crying. Everybody around was either in shock or crying. It's so cool to see a miracle happen.
Well, I thought, well, maybe he can do 1 step. Maybe it was going to be 2. Before I know it, he was rattling off 3, 4.
It would be the best 2 yards gained on a Jags field all season. You walked into his arms, didn't you?
Uh-huh.
Why him? Why Mr. Brad Meester?
Because he was nice.
Doctors told us he wasn't going to walk and just kind of prepare yourself for that. And then he did exactly what people told us he wouldn't do.
All of which gave the Jaguars a crazy idea, to have Luke come to the Week 5 coin flip against the Bengals.
It was just awesome having him out there.
I think that he could feel that 60,000 people were in that stadium supporting him. It was amazing.
What have you learned about people like Brad Meester?
He has changed our little boy's life. It's amazing, and there just aren't words.
Life is a coin flip. Doctors have no idea why Luke had the seizure. They have no idea why he could suddenly walk. And they have no idea when his left hand will hold the violin again. Of course, doctors don't know the power of a football star on a little boy, or vice versa.
You look at what Luke is continuing to do and the wins that he's getting. I think he's undefeated right now, and he's still not done.
1, 2, 3, Jaguars!
Former President George W. Bush stopped by to visit Luke once. So did former Gators great Tim Tebow. But even he couldn't unseat Meester as Luke's favorite football